Welcome to the show, everyone. I am your only host, The Nile. Today is our super casual Christmas special episode, so we're going to have an awesome time, especially you all in the audience, because you guys have the coolest person you ever wanted, your host, me. So let's get right into it. Ebola. Now, hasn't that been the talk of the year? Finally, we have something we're talking about, rather than discussing what someone's anaconda does or does not want. Other than those ISIS radicals, and maybe a few of Vladimir Putin's personal excursions in the Ukraine, the world has been preoccupied with media coverage on the Ebola fight. This world disaster that began in the small nation of Liberia could change our very way of life as we know it. Think worldwide quarantines, trillions of deaths, all trade and travel, and communication at a standstill. Homes as personal jail cells. This is what our future holds, the terror of Ebola. After millions of people died in Africa, 2 white people died in America. Ebola is the problem right now. Everyone is at risk. Ebola is a threat to Americans everywhere. We thought we were safe here. We were wrong. Have you been traveling lately? You probably have Ebola. Have you thrown up within the past 5 years? You probably have Ebola. I'm pretty sure you don't have Ebola, but you might get it. The Ebola scare all started when 5 people from Texas were diagnosed and has since escalated to pretty much an official national crisis. Well, our beloved country is where freedom rings. Rings, I do not know. We were considering a travel restriction. Very predictably, North Korea beat us to it and shut down all travel in and out of its borders. Thanks, Kim. Always great to see a leader who looks after his people. But since the United States can't be outdone by a nation that spends more building nuclear weapons than providing food for its people, the stock market has shut down. But in my highly qualified opinion, we're beyond screwed. Ebola is probably the 4th or 5th sign of the apocalypse. The first couple being the Kardashians, every politician ever, and Flappy Bird. Whoa, flashback, right? Either way, Ebola might become the end of the world, or I guess it could just become another forgotten trend. We probably won't know until 2020. Now, let's move on to our next segment.
Dang it, guys, again, I'm the only talent around here.
Ladies and gentlemen, your other host, Claire.
You do this every time. You start filming without me and add in all these weird little segments that we never agreed on. How about I just...
Technical difficulties. Here's a message from our sponsors.
We know you. You like eating meat. You like ordering the biggest steak whenever you go out to a restaurant. So therefore, you like watching animals die. Meat eaters are devouring the animal world. According to recent data from a mostly reliable source, all animals will be extinct by the year 2020 because of meat consumption. If you continue eating meat, all of these animals will soon be dead, and it will be all your fault. Stop eating meat or say goodbye to Fido. Save a life. Go vegan.
Me! Are you a man? If you eat meat, then say yes! Do you want to be more manly? Eat more meat! Meat is... Hang on. Meat is the food of man! Steak, chicken, pork, ham, bacon, sausage, meat! This is no longer a child. This is a man! 3 things men love. Meat, explosions, and breasts. Come on down to Les Meat to become a man!
President Obama is ruining America. He has fallen from grace. He is never going to come back to the hearts of the American people. He has forsaken America for Mexico. President Obama recently signed an executive order of immigration, an executive order from the boiling pits of Latin America. His new executive order essentially grants a visa to almost all illegal immigrants. It's a crime for the American people. These illegals have taken our jobs and our money. Mostly our money, though, which is why everyone's pissed. But wait, there's more. Obama is also ignoring the greatest value of this nation, democracy. Obama's executive action is clearly just a revenge tactic to hit Republican politicians where he still can. We have an inside source that has the ability to read Obama's mind and spy on him. We know for a fact that he is not taking anything seriously. Obama is being completely political and is allowing his party's pathetic performance to drive his actions. The fact that he completely bypassed Congress shows that Obama does not have his own people in mind. Obviously, he forgot that all illegal immigrants will steal all of our non-existent money and use it as fuel in hell. I am literally a comedic genius.
No, you're not, because I'm a comedic genius. I know when I see one, and you are clearly not a comedic genius.
You are so wrong, it is almost laughable. But then again, you're like, so unfunny that it's not.
Hey guys, we need to keep rolling. There's a guy who needs to be interviewed.
Our guest today is known for his highly controversial writing, Let Teens Try Adulthood, in which he argues that the American high school system should be completely abolished.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
High school was a nightmare. I was voted homecoming queen, and there was so much pressure. And then there was that time that I caught my police officer boyfriend in a strip club. It was devastating.
No, that's not me.
Exactly. Adolescents don't need to be wasting their valuable time in an artificial and demeaning environment like American high schools. It does no good for students. Adolescents are more suggestive and tend to believe their world around them. These days, every little thing that happens in high school's unrealistic environment traumatizes teenagers.
Traumatized? You haven't seen traumatized. When I was in high school, my girlfriend made me choose between my two loves: basketball
Goes in straight, goes up in the air, now he's sideways. Look at the air, look at the hang.
and drama club.
You've been hit by a smooth criminal.
I was torn. I don't know if I'll ever forgive Gabriella. It was so hard to keep my head in the game.
Students in high school focus on fitting in and trying to be cool. They divert their attention from their real job, learning, which probably wouldn't happen even if all of their energy was devoted to that. Plus, high school teachers are poorly trained, and teens these days mature much faster than teens of the past, which means they should join the adult world sooner.
So true. My college professor for underwater basket weaving was clearly more competent than my high school AP language and composition teacher. Basket weaving, especially underwater, is obviously a way more desirable skill in the adult world than plain old writing skills, the very basis of our society. And children are returning sooner. My 13-year-old nephew's main hobby is dropping the F-bomb in front of his 5-year-old neighbors. If that isn't mature, I don't know what is.
What I'm trying to say is that high schools are unrealistic and fake. No environment in the real world is that secluded, where you're in a tight room with 25 other kids, born exactly the same year as you were.
Sounds like my weekend in juvenile detention.
So they should skip high school, just so they can go to college where there are perfect professors and there's absolutely no age segregation and no peer pressure. Why didn't I get that memo? I would have stayed in college for like 10 extra years.
Thank you for understanding. It is truly a great opportunity to meet with such knowledgeable and accepting people.
No, Mr. Botstein. Thank you. Your arguments are truly enlightening. Well, that's all the time we have for today.
Join us again on the great Vinay and Claire Day.
Seriously? I thought we agreed upon the great Claire and Vinay debate.
You do this every time. You're ruining the show.
I'm ruining the show. You're ruining the show.
Oh my gosh, I can't even.
No, because, that was my thing. I am the star of this show.
Okay, you had hardly any time on the show. I couldn't.